Self-hypnotism, the technique and its use in daily living, by L.M.Lecron, clinical psychologist and author of Techniques of Hypnotherapy, a unique method of self-analysis that helps you get to the root of your problems and correct them with the simple, safe, scientific techniques of self-hypnotism. You can communicate with your inner mind. How to develop automatic writing? Before beginning a program of self-help, it would be a good idea to find out whether you can readily learn automatic writing. You may find you have a facility for it, and it is worth a bit of time to find out. If you are a doodler, you are likely to be able to write automatically. If you can, it will give you another access to your subconscious and will be a great help in your program. It is best to sit in a comfortable chair without arms. Take a breadboard or a lapboard of some kind and lay it across your knees. Cut off a piece of paper from a roll of shelf paper so it will cover the entire board. If you develop as an automat, you can use such a roll of paper, pulling out enough to cover the board, and as your writing covers the sheet, then pull out another section of the paper. If you sit at a desk, your arm does not have as much freedom to move as when it rests on a lapboard across your knees. Use a very soft pencil or a ballpoint pen which writes heavily, such as a laundry marking pen. Instead of holding it in the normal writing position, take it between the thumb and forefinger. Hold straight up and down with the point resting on the paper. Start at the top left of the sheet of paper. Now tell your subconscious mind that you would like to have it control your hand and write about anything it would like as a subject. Write your name, holding the pen or pencil as described. Make a few cycles and then return your hand to the upper left-hand edge of the board. Make no further voluntary movement. Some people find the hand will move almost at once. More often it may not move for several minutes. When it begins to move of its own accord, it may merely make lines or geometric figures as though it were warming up or practicing. Watch the hand closely and keep thinking that it is going to begin to move. You may find a tingling feeling in the muscles, or you may find that you have rather lost track of the entire arm, as though it were no longer a part of you. If it writes, try not to anticipate the words as they come. The handwriting will not be like your usual writing. The words probably will not be separated. Movements may be rather jerky. The hand may move very slowly or may race across the board. You can try shutting your eyes if you like, which helps to keep you from knowing what is being written as the hand moves. Keep trying for at least 20 minutes if the hand doesn't move sooner. You might even try a second time if there is failure. When you have learned auto-hypnosis, you may use this technique to get good results. If you cannot produce automatic writing, do not be discouraged. Probably no more than 1 person out of 5 can do so without much effort and practice. Summary. In this chapter, you have learned that you can communicate directly with your inner mind and obtain information from it. This can be done by asking questions and obtaining answers through movements of the pendulum or the fingers, or seeing words written on a blackboard in your mind's eye. You may even be able to develop automatic writing and with it gain more detailed information. These techniques will be of the utmost advantage in understanding the conditions which you wish to change. Chapter 3. In your program for self-betterment, you naturally wish to accomplish your goals as rapidly as possible. Self-hypnosis offers you a very definite shortcut and results will come more quickly if you use it. You may have the usual misconceptions about it, but with the proper understanding and knowledge about it, you can utilize its many advantages. Hypnosis offers the easiest access to the subconscious part of the mind. Through hypnosis, the subconscious can most readily be influenced to bring about the changes you want. Hypnosis, a powerful force for good. Popular misconceptions about hypnosis. The public has many misconceptions about hypnosis, some of which are shared by physicians. Nevertheless, probably 20 to 30,000 women in this country have gone through childbirth under hypnosis. In addition, there have been thousands of others who have had therapeutic treatment in which hypnotic techniques have been used. Unfortunately, however, the misconceptions are still prevalent, and many who could benefit from hypnosis do not have its help. Almost everyone has the idea that a hypnotized person becomes unconscious. Most of us have a normal fear or dislike of losing consciousness. Actually, a subject is always completely aware, even in the deepest stages of hypnosis. He knows what he is saying and doing. There is never loss of consciousness while in hypnosis. There really is very little sensation other than a feeling of listlessness or lethargy, lethargy. You can move if you wish, but it seems to be too much trouble. Talking may require an effort due to the lethargy. There is so little other sensation that many who go only into a light state may think they have not been affected at all. This is quite usual. When one is deeply hypnotized, there is a recognition of it. Even in a medium state, one feels that something is different. The skillful operator tries to produce some hypnotic phenomena which will let his subject realize he is in hypnosis. The operator may suggest that the subject's eyes cannot be opened. The subject finds to his surprise that he cannot open them. Suggestions of extreme heaviness of an arm may prevent its movement when an effort is made to lift it. When such suggestions work, it shows the subject that is in hypnosis. If awake, he would open his eyes or move his arm readily. Another popular misconception is that the subject must carry out any suggestion given him. But the operator is not omnipotent, and the subject is never in his power. Hypnosis would be highly dangerous if the operator had such control. Thousands read books about hypnosis and learn. Thousands read books about hypnosis and learn how to induce it. Some certainly would take advantage of having complete control of a subject. Newspapers would publish any news story about crimes or other bad uses of hypnosis. No one will do anything under hypnosis which would be against his principles, nor will he carry out a suggestion unless it is acceptable. Fear of loss of control can prevent induction or hold the subject back from reaching deeper stages. Another fear, often entertained but based on a mistaken idea, is that the hypnotized person might say something he would not want to talk about. Since there is complete awareness, the subject knows what he is saying. He would no more betray a state secret under hypnosis than he would when awake. Somewhat along the same line is a belief in the inability to lie or give misinformation under hypnosis. If a person wished to be untruthful while hypnotized, he could readily lie. A young man once brought his wife to me to be hypnotized so he could learn from her whether or not she had been unfaithful to him. He was intensely jealous and paranoid. He was informed that I would do this only if she was willing, and that he could not be present while hypnosis was induced, but could talk to her following induction. I told her alone that she did not need to comply with his urging, and while hypnotized could answer him in any way she wished. The wife said she had nothing to conceal and was quite willing to be questioned under hypnosis. When he asked her about it, she denied any infidelity. Any infidelity which satisfied him, at least for the time being. His paranoid jealousy would probably lead to further suspicions later. His mistaken belief in her inability to lie under hypnosis aided in preserving the marriage, however. What if I should not wake up after being hypnotized? Is a question sometimes asked. This is an exceedingly rare occurrence, for a subject easily awakens on being told to do so. In fact, anyone can awaken himself at any time. In the few times when there is difficulty in awakening, there is always some motive or reason for it. Perhaps the subject is merely very comfortable and dislikes to leave his pleasant state of relaxation. If the operator went away and left a subject in hypnosis, he would awaken whenever he wished to arouse himself. What about dangers in hypnosis? Are there any dangers in hypnosis? An inexperienced operator who knows little about it might cause some trouble. He might forget to remove some suggestion he has given, such as forgetting to bring back sensitivity when hypnotic anesthesia has been induced. Anesthesia. When hypnotic anesthesia has been induced, this might cause some difficulty. As a rule, however, suggestions would soon lose their effect in such a case. It certainly is foolish to permit an unqualified person to hypnotize you. Stage hypnotists who seldom know much about it other than how to induce it quickly and to produce some phenomena would fall into this category. A physician, psychologist, or dentist with training in the use of hypnosis is aware of the few possible dangers and knows how to avoid them easily. As to self-induction, thousands have learned it, and I have yet to hear a report of any bad result from its use. The one precaution should be to remove any suggestion or phenomena before awakening yourself. This book is not intended as a text on hypnosis. for the benefit of those who might wish to learn more details about it, the following list of primary texts may be helpful. There are scores of good modern books on the subject, and only a few can be mentioned here. Most public libraries would have at least one of them. Lecron and Bordeaux's Hypnotism Today. New York, Grun and Stratton. Cook and Van Gogh, Hypnotism Handbook, Los Angeles, Borden Publishing Co. Esther Brooks, Hypnotism, New York, Dutton. Weizenhofer, General Techniques of Hypnotism, New York, Grun and Stratton. Why don't more physicians use hypnosis? The question is sometimes asked as to why hypnosis is not used by more physicians and dentists. There are several reasons for this. Professional men usually have the same misconceptions as does the public. Many of them fear its use because of scare articles which have appeared in medical journals and popular magazines. Most of these have been written by psychiatrists who oppose the use of hypnosis except by psychiatrists. The American Psychiatric Association advocates the use of psychotherapy by general practitioners and medical specialists, and the AMA has made a similar recommendation. One of the main reasons why it is not utilized more is the matter of the time needed. 30 to 40 in brackets or more minutes for hypnotherapy is usual. If a busy physician sees 40 to 50 patients a day, he seldom can take this amount of time for an individual patient. Some production line doctors see 80 or more patients a day. Scarcely enough time per patient for any good treatment. Dr. David Cheek of San Francisco, a leading gynecologist, a leading gynecologist with years of hypnotic experience, published an article in Northwest Medicine, in brackets, February 1962, pointing out the fears and woeful lack of knowledge about hypnosis in the medical profession, including the psychiatrists. He mentions a questionnaire sent out to 930 California psychiatrists about hypnosis. Only 50 reported ever using hypnosis as a technique, and only 20 of the 50 said they found it of great value. Being acquainted with most of the 20, I can add that they have found it of extremely great value. Obviously, something is wrong if only some 2% find it valuable. Why is it extremely valuable for them and not for the other 30 who have used it? The only answer is that the others must not have enough knowledge about it and do not know how to use it effectively, or they too would find it valuable. This leaves the regrettable situation where almost 98% of the California psychiatrists are ignoring something which obviously is of great value. Presumably, these some percentages apply more or less to the entire United States. It is not so in Russia, where most psychiatrists use it. Still another good reason for lack of professional interest is that physicians have had almost no opportunity to learn hypnotherapy, either while attending medical school or in postgraduate courses. Only 3 of 4 such courses in hypnosis have ever been offered by medical schools. Dental schools also have been negligent in this regard, though several have offered instruction. Probably 15 to 18,000 physicians, dentists and psychologists have had instruction in hypnotic techniques, but through privately given courses. In 1952, I felt there should be such courses given by a panel of instructors, and organized such a group. We have offered some 76 symposiums teaching hypnosis to professional men. They have been given in various cities, all over the United States and also in Canada, Mexico, and some Caribbean countries. Later, several similar groups were organized. As a result of the interest aroused in this way, two national professional societies are now functioning, with a total of nearly 4,000 members. Each publishes a quarterly technical journal about hypnosis. Their members are the leaders in the field, though there are others actively using hypnosis who do not belong to the societies. Some who have taken classes use it not at all or infrequently because of some of the reasons outlined above. So that any interested reader may locate a physician, psychologist, psychiatrist, or dentist who does use hypnosis and who practices in the reader's area. The names and addresses of these national societies are given by writing them, being sure to enclose a stamped, self-addressed envelope. A qualified practitioner can be located. They are the Society for Clinical and Experimental Hypnosis, 353W 57TH, St. Street, New York, NY. The American Society for Clinical Hypnosis, 800 Washington Avenue, SE, Minneapolis, Min. Some of the characteristics of hypnosis. The depth a person reaches in hypnosis is usually classed as a light state, a medium one, or a deep state. In light hypnosis, the following symptoms or phenomena can usually be produced or will be shown. Relaxation with a tendency not to move, a fluttering of the eyelids when closed, inability to open them on suggestions to that effect, hand clasp test, listlessness, a feeling of heaviness, particularly in the arms and legs, limb catalepsy, in brackets, extreme rigidity or looseness of the muscles of the limbs, with a tendency for them to stay in any position in which they are placed, and a partial type of age regression. Some of the phenomena mentioned will be explained later. For the medium depth of trance, complete body catalepsy, anesthesia of any part of the body, either partial or complete, great relaxation, partial amnesia, partial amnesia on awakening of a suggested great lassitude, control of some organic functions such as bleeding and salivation. In deep hypnosis, complete age regression, ability to open the eyes without awakening, in brackets, possible often in a medium's trance, complete anesthesia, complete amnesia, control of body functions, positive or negative hallucinations of all five senses, time distortion. There are other symptoms and phenomena, but these are the main ones. There is rapport with the operator in all stages. Post-hypnotic suggestions can be effective at any depth, although the deeper the trance, the more likely they are to be carried out. A post-hypnotic suggestion is one given in hypnosis, which is to be executed after awakening. It is possible to tell how deep a person is in hypnosis by observing symptoms, testing, or by questioning with ideomotor responses, which will be described in the next chapter. Certain things are characteristic of each of the three stages of depth, as listed above, though individual responses may vary. One individual might not produce hypnotic anesthesia in a very deep state, while another might do so in only a light stage. The most important phenomenon used in self-therapy is partial age regression. This is the ability to return in time to some past event or some certain age and to relive it with all five of the senses. It is much more than merely remembering something. Complete regression, sometimes called revivification. revivification, is never actually complete, of course. A deep state is required for this, and it would be exceptional to be able to regress in this way with auto-hypnosis. When an operator tells a subject he is now some certain age, the subject seems to become that age with the complete type of regression. He will behave like a 5-year-old if told he is that age. The identity of the operator would not be known to him. Life from the suggested age on seems to be blotted out. Scientific research has shown such a regression to be valid, not a pretense. The partial type of regression is easily obtained in only a very light state with most people. Here the subject will go back and seem to relive an experience just as it happened, with all 5 senses functioning, seeing, hearing, etc. But he is also aware of the operator's identity and of his own actual physical location. There is a kind of duality involved. It is this type of regression which is best used in psychotherapy and in self-help. It is easy to invoke, and the subject is able to analyze and understand what is happening to him during the regression. He will be able to understand how some past experience may be affecting him in his present life. With the complete form of regression, there is no insight or understanding of this, because it is viewed with the same viewpoint held at that time. With other type of regression, events at a very early age may be brought out which cannot otherwise be recalled. Examples of how regression is used will be given later. You've been self-hypnotized many times. You have entered hypnosis. You have entered hypnosis spontaneously, literally hundreds or even thousands of times, depending on your age. We all slip into a trance at times every day of our lives, though such situations are not labeled hypnosis. Dr. Griffith Williams of Rutgers University has written of these spontaneous states in an article in Experimental Hypnosis, in brackets, New York, Macmillan, Lecron, editor. Daydreaming is nothing but a state of hypnosis, perhaps light, sometimes deep. When we concentrate intently on anything, such as reading a book, watching a motion picture or TV program, or even on our work, we tend to slip into a trance. It is even probable, as Esther Brooks has pointed out, that we do so whenever we experience a strong emotion, such as fear or anger. In any religious ceremony, particularly if this is music and ritual, many in the audience will enter hypnosis spontaneously. Almost anyone who drives a car will recall situations conducive to hypnosis, out on the open road, relaxed at the wheel, eyes fixed on the white line of the road. The monotonous hum of the motor, and you suddenly realize you have passed through some town and are beyond it, but with no memory of having gone through it. You have been in hypnosis, experienced symptoms of amnesia, and then awakened yourself. Awareness of these common spontaneous states, which we all experience, should relieve any fear or apprehension about being hypnotized or using auto-hypnosis. A trance state is quite a common, normal phenomenon. Summary. In this chapter, you have learned the facts about hypnosis. Properly used, it is not dangerous, and professional men trained in its use know how to avoid the few dangers. It is perfectly safe in every way to use self-hypnosis. While in hypnosis, you are always fully aware and never pass out, no matter how deeply you may go. You never lose control of yourself. Thousands of professional men have been trained in the use of hypnosis and now use it in their practices. Names of some in your own locality. Your own locality can be obtained from one of the two national societies. You have learned some of the interesting phenomena which can be produced with hypnosis in these 3 stages of depth. The common spontaneous states of hypnosis, which we all enter daily, are normal, and knowledge of these should relieve you of any fears about it. Chapter 4. Let's stop here and we'll continue the next time.